Well, hello everybody and welcome to Lunchbreak Live, real talk about obesity, food addiction, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Cari Cruz here with you on a very sunny Thursday afternoon here in Southern California. I hope wherever you are and whenever it is that you're watching this, you're having a glorious day, a wonderful, successful, happy day of recovery. As you guys begin to filter in, hi Melissa, so glad you're here. I want to welcome you all. I'm really grateful that you are able to spend this time with me. I see people here, but I don't see your names popping up yet. So, hey Shahama, I haven't seen you in a long time, girl. Hey, all right, lots of people coming in. So happy you're here. I'm going to put my necklace. I just read your comment. Something about, what did you say? See, this is what happens when I can't read. Oh, hey, thanks. Okay, so, and Jerry is here, and Kathy, all the way from Elysian Fields, Texas, right? Stacy, hey, welcome back. And Greg, all right, you're like 2 for 2 now, right? All right, nursing school. Oh man, you've been a busy girl, huh? All right, so listen, you guys, today's going to be kind of free form a little bit, and I'm going to hope to get feedback from you, whether it's in the form of actual words or whether you're flashing thumbs up or happy faces or even mad faces or hearts or whatever it is. So definitely going to be needing your feedback for the show today. And let me see who else joined. Who else joined? And Kenny, hey, happy Thursday, Ken. I'm really glad that you are here. Haven't seen you in a while. All right, so I think my glasses got smudgy. All right, so anyway, here's the dealio. Okay, that's it. I've said dealio. I've said dealio. That's it. I can't say it anymore today. Right? And I wasted it. That's the thing. It wasn't even like a good use of the word, but it's done now. I can't say that anymore. You know, I got to rethink this. I got to stick to my notes. Anyway, today's show is all about the attitude of recovery. Now, as you guys hear me talk about frequently, and especially on yesterday's show, which I thought was really good, didn't you? Where I was answering your questions. It was my output, your input. We talked about the fact that recovery is a state of mind. It's an attitude, and that abstinence, sobriety, those are the behaviors, the actions, the things that you do that come out of this attitude of recovery. Okay, so I realized let's dig deeper on that. I thought that's really good. Let's talk about how I perceive that attitude of recovery looks. So first and foremost, I'm going to put my glasses right back on, smudgy or otherwise, and I'm going to throw some character traits out there. And you tell me, well, actually, let's see here. Before I fill in the blanks, let me see if I can get feedback in a timely fashion from you guys. All right. What are typically traits or characteristics that you would attribute to someone who has a good attitude? So if you think of someone that has a good attitude, throw out some attitudes, some character traits that they have. Hey, Bonnie, I'm glad that you're here. And Nancy, you made it. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so character traits that we associate with people that have a good attitude. Go. Let me see if you guys can give me some feedback and if Facebook will help me see. Okay, positiveness. That was like the top of my list. That is literally positive can-do attitude. Right, I got that one. Positivity. Okay, give me some more. Resilient, can get over things. I didn't put that one on there. That's a great one, Greg. I love that. Peaceful, active, smiles a lot. Awesome. Okay, interesting. Hola, Blanca. Gracias por venir. Okay, letting go of what we cannot change. Hey, Christy, welcome, welcome. Joyful, okay. So we have some good ideas for what we would call people, traits of people that have a good attitude. Here are some that I came up with, okay? So in addition to what you guys came up with, outward directed. Okay, so like goal-oriented or, focused on late but here. So Christy, would you call those character traits that are associated with people with a positive attitude? No, I'm kidding. So, all right, so that's what we're working on, Christy. We are talking about the attitude of recovery, and I'm working on defining that as I understand it to see if it makes sense to you guys. So these are some of the words that I came up with when I was thinking about traits that I would use when I describe someone with a good attitude. Happy, carefree, easygoing, calm, reliable, confident, problem solver, forgiving. Okay, so got it? So those are, you don't have to agree, but those are just kind of some of the words that I came up for. Looking for the best in any situation. Okay, so looking for the good in things, right? Okay, now what about traits that we attribute optimistic? Yes, to people who have a bad attitude. All right, give me some words. Bad attitude. Go. Okay, so, and willing for the good attitude. Yes. Surrender. Yes, those are good. Okay, so bad attitude. Give me some character traits for that. All right, gossipers. Ooh, good one, Nancy. Yes. Unhappy. Okay. Ho-hum. Kind of like apathetic, maybe you would say. Negative. Okay, got it. I can't hear. Oh, Christy, I'm so bummed. Some people can, some people can't. Maybe if you go out and come back in, you might be able to hear. Resentful. Ooh, hey, Betsy, I'm glad you made it. Self-focused and narcissistic. Oh, ooh, good. All right. And like a whatever attitude, like, right? Sarcastic, overly sarcastic. Got it. Guilt. Ooh, good ones. And sabotager. Blame others for their faults. May I just point out that you guys are like ready with the negative character traits, that you are absolutely, it's like an avalanche of negative character traits. And it was a little bit harder for you to come up with the good ones right away. And my mom says she can't get in, but hopefully she will make it. All right, here are some that I came up with for the bad attitude, okay? Negative, short-tempered, problem pushers. In other words, I'm going to make my problem your problem. Difficult, grumpy, angry, uptight, unpleasant, vindictive, spiteful. Okay? Do any of those sound like people that you know? Maybe they sound like you. Do they sound like pleasant character traits, or do they sound negative? What do you guys think? Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up that, yeah, familiar, sounds familiar, right? Okay. Now, I want to know where you might put these character traits, okay? And you don't have to respond to me, like one-to-one on this one, but I would like you guys to be thinking about where these character traits might fit, and especially if they're familiar ones to you that you might not have considered when we were defining the good attitude, bad attitude kind of people, okay? So how about this one? Dramatic, a whiner, complainer, morose, melancholy, kind of like an Eeyore, right? Poor me, all the time, right? Incapable, unreliable, pessimistic, that one was already given as a bad attitude, self-loathing, and I think that might go with guilt. That might go hand in hand with guilt, right? Finally, and hey, Mom, you made it. I'm so glad. You had a friend you called Eeyore, right? I know, Eeyore, and thumbs down, man. Okay, and needy. Here's another one I'm throwing out there, needy. Do you know any people who are needy in your life? And depressed? Well, and I want to, we've talked about depression again, and there's depression that you need to treat, and then there's depression that you marinate in. And, I think it's important to look at those because sometimes we will be depressed and, we'll do what we can to get out of it. But it can be harder for some of us. We take meds, whatever. And always wants advice, yet never heeds it. So needy, like just gimme, all take, right? Never give, maybe. Energy vampires, exactly. Hey, Sherry, I'm so glad you made it. Looks like Facebook is giving some of the viewers a little bit of a bad time. You know what? FaceTime has a bad attitude today. So some of you guys can't hear. Some of you guys are freezing up. And okay, so, all right. So let's look at those. Now, I want you to think about some more character traits, attitudes, okay? How about these? Particular, meaning like a stickler, detail-oriented, OCD, anal retentive, perfectionist, workaholic. So, where would we put those? I mean, I don't know. Are those positive? Are they negative? I mean, where do they fall? Because don't a lot of us get congratulated for being that kind of person? You know, oh, you're just a stickler for details. You know, how about this one? Control freak, right? Oh, I'm such a control freak, right? So I don't know. Is that a healthy attitude to have or not? It's okay. Afraid to deal with their own issues, right? So in other words, maybe denial is really strong with people, right? Okay, so here's another one. Here's some more. And you just tell me, where do these go? Okay? Uptight, yes. I think I had that one on over here. Humorous, helpful, bully, easily offended. Oh, I'm glad you can hear me now, Christy. That's great. Way to keep fighting. Combative, defensive, okay? And obviously a lot of us are going to look at some of those words, especially if they fit, you know, especially if we begin to feel them and go, ooh, yeah, that's kind of me. And we're going to look for ways to find gray areas where we're going to say, yeah, but I'm not that bad. Okay, yeah, I do that sometimes. It's not that bad. I mean, you know, come on. Okay, all right, so I'm on the defensive. That just means I'm protecting myself because no one else did it before, or I never knew how to do it before. And hey, I'm just going on the offense here, okay, because I just want to make sure I'm going to do it to them before they do it to me. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong. Okay, so a lot of us can justify some less healthy behaviors. And I think what ends up happening is it undermines our serene and peaceful recovery, and we don't even know. You know, we don't even know that it's happening because we've allowed it to happen because we've justified and rationalized it and said, and had people tell us it's a good thing, right? I'm so glad you're a perfectionist. That means nothing's going to get by you. You're eagle eye. Oh yeah, I know you're going to stick with it until it is just right. So there's a mixed message there, right? We perfectionists know that that's a death sentence because there's no possible way we can ever measure up to that. So if someone doesn't struggle with it, they think they're paying us a compliment, but really they're just feeding something that's already eating us up, aren't they? So that sounds like something that is very contrary to an attitude of recovery. That's going to undermine recovery, right? Stand back and think before acting. Take the high road. Well, and you know, yes, I got derailed. I just got derailed there because it's like such a good thought. You gave me something so good to think about. Okay, before I go to that one, Nancy, let me finish this little part over here on my third column, and then we'll talk about it. Like I said, it's kind of like a free-form show today. Okay, it is difficult, absolutely. Okay, so do you think you can be addicted to an attitude? So this is a question I want from you, you guys to answer. Either thumbs up, smile, whatever, hearts, or say no, I don't think so. What do you think? Can you be addicted to an attitude, or are you just addicted to like substances, like food, drugs, alcohol, or behaviors like shopping and gambling and stuff like that? But okay, so yes. Okay, Christy's thinking. Greg's saying yep. All right, keep going. Keep giving me some feedback. What do you guys think? You can be addicted? All right. What kinds of, if you say absolutely. All right, Kelly Bama girl. Addicted to behaviors. Okay. Don't like it when I realize I do all I can to stop. Oh, yeah, when I realize I do all I can to stop. Right, which I think, Nancy, is part of recovery, okay? It's not about perfection, right? It's about recognizing, it's about acknowledging when things are impediments, obstacles to our recovery, because that's what it all comes down to here. Really, this is a personal thing. I'm not judging you. I can't tell you what to do or what not to do in your own life, but we know as we begin to peel back those layers and stop hiding from ourselves, as we begin to know ourselves, we meet ourselves, then we begin to know ourselves, and we stop lying to ourselves. We set aside the denial. We fearlessly and courageously face ourselves. As that process happens, we do begin to see the things about ourselves that used to eat us up, and we ate over them because we didn't want to see them. They were either embarrassing, they mortified. One of the things that mortified me that I would talk about in therapy a lot was, it was like this nervous energy and like an anxiety, and that I'm very high strung and I talk a lot. I did. And I was embarrassed about that because I thought, darn it, I wish I didn't. I hate that because people, they're not paying me a compliment a lot of the time when they're like, you're really talkative, or you really have a lot of energy. They're put off by that. Not everybody, but and I really struggled with that. I really wrestled with that because I said, I don't like that about myself. I don't like, there's something wrong with me if I have all of this, nervous energy and I'm high strung. And then the more, by the way, we never cured that out of me because ultimately it's not a problem unless I make it a problem. And what is part of nervous energy but energy? Yeah, I am very energetic. And it's like a natural thing for me. It's not artificial. It's not fake. Although I did find ways to use it artificially to cover for the times when I was extremely depressed. I would trot that high energy out there to cover what was going on behind the scenes. Okay, so that was false cheerfulness. I learned false cheerfulness, which is everything's fine. Keep moving. I'm great. I'm fine. Yeah, you don't need to worry about me. It's all good. Right? And we're waving. Okay. So I had to be very careful. What I learned about myself is if we're talking about false cheerfulness, which is I'm just going to put it on and pretend that everything's okay when it's not. That's a stumbling block, right? But if I'm just high energy and I'm hopefully using it to good result, to help other people to find and embrace and enjoy recovery, well, then I don't think that's such a bad thing. But I had to come to terms with what it really, really represented for me. Okay, is it a bad thing? It is a good thing. So on some people, some traits are stumbling blocks. On others, they are building blocks and foundations, and they're very important. So if you believe you can be addicted to an attitude, I want you to think about these, 3 or 4 things here I'm going to name, okay? First one, anger. Okay? Next one, drama. Neediness, and self-loathing. Okay, so anger. A lot of us are very good with anger. Others of us are not so good with anger. And we fall on opposite ends of an extreme spectrum, And so there's some people that are very quick to anger, like a match. Boom, anger. And I'm enraged, right? And other people are very slow to anger to the point where they don't ever get worked up. And you're like, well, why aren't you mad about this, right? And some people don't feel comfortable getting angry. That was me. I didn't feel comfortable getting angry. I was always hurt. Instead of getting mad, I got hurt, okay? And, a lot of, passive aggressive, a lot of therapists will tell you that those are two sides of the same coin, people who are hurt are just, it's unexpressed anger, or people that are angry, it's unexpressed hurt and whatever. And, I could see that. I could see where that's the case because I had a lot of hurting that I wasn't addressing, and I was being a victim about it, and I would let it happen. So I didn't do anger because I felt like I'd get in trouble if I got mad, Other people say, well, if I don't stick up for myself, so they're using their anger as a defense mechanism, as a tool, or an intolerance saying, I don't put up with crap. So they're saying, see, the anger on them, they've decided is a good thing. But the reality is, are they letting themselves feel that maybe what this bravado is all about, this defensiveness is all about hurts that they're not addressing? We don't know. So we want to look at something. Can you be addicted to an attitude? Well, I will just speak from my own experience that the anger came out. I learned how to be angry when I began to deal with my issues and deal with food and all of that stuff that I used to eat over, right? When I began to face it, I found anger. And I found that what happened was, boom, I went from 0 to 100, especially on the freeway. And you've heard me talk about the freeway. It's maddening. It's very frustrating. And I would try to tell myself, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Just get over it. You'll get there when you get there. Big deal. Stop stressing. But I would get so irritated. I would go from that place of trying to talk myself calm to, idiot, look what you're doing. Come on, keep up with traffic. What's your problem? Way to cut me off. Why don't you let me in? And I mean, I would just get, and my mom will tell you because she's heard me on the phone, and I would just blah all the time. And so it began to be something that I didn't even think about it anymore. I just went immediately to anger, and I realized I didn't like the way it made me feel. It was just as bad as eating an entire bag of cookies. It felt the same way on me. I felt horrible about myself. I didn't feel good about myself. I said, is that really the person that I want to be? You know, and you've heard the expression dry drunk, which you've heard me talk about, which is, you know, where people are maybe abstinent. Okay, they may not be using, they may not be drinking, but boy, are they pissed off all the time. They're angry because they haven't dealt with the stuff that they used to drink over. Okay, well, I realized, okay, what's going on here for me? So I said, all right, I'm obviously addicted to anger because it feels good. I'm finally getting it out. I'm finally, yeah, until it didn't feel good anymore. And isn't that the way addiction is, right? So I believe that I was addicted to that attitude, which was a negative attitude, very unhealthy, and it was my decision to say, okay, what if that weren't an option? I'm not talking about never getting mad. I'm not talking about even righteous indignation, appropriate anger. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being enraged over, you know, another driver, right? You've seen road rage, right? Being enraged over things that don't require that level of response, that level of reaction, okay? That became like a drug. So I said, well, what would I do if that weren't an option? Well, okay, maybe I'll pray. Maybe I'll say, thank you. You know, maybe I'll say, Cari, get over yourself. It's okay. It's only traffic. Whatever it is, put on some music, sing along. But what if it's not an option? Just like eating those cookies is not an option. What if road rage, getting angry is not an option? Well, I tell you one thing, I will arrive at work a lot happier. So that's the bonus. That's the benefit. How about drama? You know, I was a drama queen. Literally and figuratively, I was a drama queen. I was drama club president in high school. I came by it honestly. I come from a family of theatrical people. So I was always feted and celebrated for being a drama queen. Always. So everybody said, that's a great thing, you know? But then they started to say, but you're kind of dramatic. Maybe you're over dramatic. You know what? I think you're oversensitive. I think you wear your heart on your sleeve. You know what? I think you make a big deal about everything. Whoa, all of a sudden it went from, you know, hey, you're really great on the stage to, is the entire world your stage and everything's drama? And I found ways to generate drama, to create drama out of nothing. I would go looking for drama. And you know what they say, you go looking for drama, you will find it. I found it. And yes, someone mentioned gossip early on in the conversation here. Gossip feeds drama big time. You go out there, you become addicted to it. I want to know what's going on. What's going on? What did she say about me? What did they say? What are they doing? Where are they going? Oh, yeah? What do they think about? Oh, I see what's going on here. Yeah. Will you tell them? Oh, right? And it starts this gossip and this drama. And, oh, I don't know, now that we have cell phones, I'm going to stand in line and I'm going to celebrate the drama that is the line at Walmart by taking pictures and complaining about it. So now I'm going to become a complainer and a whiner because I have a worldwide platform for it. So I'm addicted to the attention I'm getting by complaining about something that other people agree is a reason to get all whiny and be a complainer. So that's feeding an unhealthy attitude of being a whiner, being a complainer, right? So some people would say, well, yeah, but you know, being dramatic just means I'm outgoing. It means I'm standing up for myself where I didn't used to, or maybe it means I'm fighting for it. You know, come on, you got to stand up and fight for stuff. So we want to look at how it is that we're defining these things, these behaviors, these attitudes in our lives. And are people telling you that it's a problem? Trusted friends, are they saying, you know, gosh, you know, like neediness. Oh, where does that start, right? Neediness. Well, I just want to be helpful. You know, I just like to help people. That's all about. okay, I like to be needed. Everybody needs to be needed, don't we? And I'm good at doing stuff for other people. So, okay, maybe I need to be needed a little, but is that really needy? Yes, yes, because you see, then it's not about them. It's about your need to be needed. And it's about this desperation that overcomes us, it overtakes us, and that becomes our drug, is needy. Please, please let me help you. Oh, here's another, please love me. Please tell me all the things I want to hear. Please don't hurt me. Please don't tell me things I don't want to hear. Please, it's all about me. It's all about me. So neediness. See, a lot of these things start in kind of innocuous or benign ways. Oh, I was just ready to give up. Oh my gosh, I was just walking around the office getting ready to get mad. I hope you guys are still with me and didn't give up. All right, so let me go back to my office here. And oh my goodness, because I'm just getting ready to wrap it up. And of course, what the heck was I talking about if you're still here? Okay, and then self-loathing, which we can become addicted to. Hey, Dorothy, you made it after I like bombed out and went offline and came back. I'm really glad that you're here. So this attitude of recovery. Okay, I hear quite frequently, and it's something I used to do as well, is that before I was really, really ready to choose to be food abstinent and live a sober recovery, you know, I was doing that hokey pokey thing that we talked about, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I'd say, oh, you know, I was good for like the whole week. And then I don't know what happened. I would just blow it and I would just binge on something. And then what would happen, right? Oh, I'm being self-sabotaging. I hate myself and I feel so guilty and I can't do this thing and I'll never be able to do it. And I'm bad and I'm wrong and right? And this attitude of self-loathing, I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to do it because I can't do it perfectly, I shouldn't even try, why did I even bother, every time I start I fail. That's that shame and that guilt. Well, we can be addicted to that, can't we? And you're like, how could I be addicted to something so negative? Because it might very well agree with the story we already believe about ourselves. If you don't believe that you are worthy or have value or are capable, then I guarantee you, you're going to do the things that an incapable, unworthy, invaluable person does. You are not going to do things a person of value and worth and capability will do. So that's where this self-fulfilling prophecy can come into play, right? It'll come into the equation. So we can be addicted to self-loathing and doing these self-sabotaging, undermining things and have this attitude of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, and then everything that comes out of that then is going to undermine our, maybe our food abstinence, our sobriety, our alcohol sobriety, whatever it is, right? That's certainly going to undermine our recovery and keep us from living in peace. So that is essentially what I want to throw out there and have you guys think about today. And yeah, busy day and, chaos. It's been crazy. Some people haven't been able to hear me, that I dropped out for a while, but thankfully came back in. So here's what I would encourage you guys to do for yourselves, because this is always a process that you work for yourself. No one can do it for you, but you can't do it alone. That's why we're all here together sharing, so that we can encourage one another and we can put stuff out there that we might not have thought about for ourselves, okay? I would encourage you guys to sit down and look at your character traits, those that you would characterize as being positive and beneficial and foundational to an attitude of recovery. Then I would encourage you to look at other character traits that undermine that life of peace in recovery. And so do 2 columns, healthy and unhealthy. And then look at them and say, all right, do I behave like someone who's addicted to that attitude? In other words, I go there without even thinking, and it's my reaction is way bigger than it needs to be, but I am just addicted to it that I go all in, right? I don't just eat one cookie, I eat the whole bag. I don't just get a little bit cranky, I get enraged. Okay? I don't just get a little wounded. I go into bed and I cover my head and I say nobody loves me, or I complain on Facebook that I'm all alone and I don't have any friends and wait for friends to tell me that they're there. Okay? Are we feeding the unhealthiest parts of ourselves? If we are, then I guarantee you that stuff that's eating you up is going to get in the way of your abstinent, if it's what it is about food or anything else, but certainly your recovery. It is absolutely going to get in the way, and you're going to want to eat over that stuff, and you're not even going to know why. So think it through, talk about it with yourself and maybe with a close friend and say, do you see this about me? Do you think that this is maybe not a good trait about me? What do you think my strong suit is? You know, whatever. Make a list and then sit there and think about it and decide what things are obstacles to your peaceful life and what things bring you closer to. You know, so closer to what you say you want or farther from. Closer to recovery or farther from. That's really all this is about, and they're going to look different on everybody, but I would be very encouraged to hear, if you guys are willing and courageous and you would like to give me some feedback, share with me some of your insights, your self-awareness. Share with me some of the things you learn about yourself, and maybe pick one thing. Don't pick them all. Pick one thing that you're going to work on. Mine was anger, okay? A long time ago, it was gossip. No more gossip. Absolutely not. No more drama. Okay? Pick one thing. You know, poor me, Eeyore, poor me, whatever that is, okay? Whatever you do, the neediness. Oh, I keep chasing them so that I can feel needed. No. Okay. Got to be self-sufficient. Whatever it is. Pick one thing and be aware of it and work on it. And when you catch yourself doing it, say, what would I do if I couldn't do that? What if that weren't an option? What would I do? I'm certainly not going to eat over it. So what's my next best option? So I would encourage you guys to, hey, Cleo, you're joining me just as I'm signing off, friend. So I'm going to dive out now because it's now late with the whole going offline thing, but we'll talk more tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of free-form approach to the show today. I really appreciate your feedback, and I'm going to go back when I'm offline, and I'm going to look at your comments and as ever get back to you. Thank you so much for being here. I would encourage you to, as always, share this show if you know somebody would benefit from it. We all need recovery. We all need recovery, and this isn't just about the food, guys, right? A lot of us workaholics maybe don't have a weight problem, but we've got an imbalance problem. So let's look at those parts of our lives that are impeding our joyful recovery. I'm going to sign off and remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, live a healthy attitude of recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you. If you don't know what's eating you, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.